impressive over the years. We know they've been consistent. We know their female team is more wide high there than the male team. We saw the exploit in the World Cup. They didn't even lose the match. They just went from the group stage up to the time that they actually won the trophy in France. So at this point in time, for me, it was a good experience for the Super Falcons. The last time they played, I think they lost about 1-0 in that particular one. But this one, it's just a friendly game, just to test their strength. You saw their campaign against Jamaica and Portugal. They drew against Portugal 3-3. They lost 1-0 to Jamaica. It shows that it's a rebuilding process for Randy Waldrum. At this point in time, new players have been coming into the team. It's very, very impressive for us to have some level of feeders team that will actually replace the old girls. Yes, the old legs.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask Mr. Jordan. He said that he just said that this is a rebuilding process. Why are you always rebuilding? As in, it's always a rebuilding process for us in Nigeria. But US, they're not rebuilding. They are building on what they've built. But we are always rebuilding every now and then. And around the Waldrum came on board. At least the eighth nation tournament they had, and in Turkey, they did very well there.
They won 3 matches.
Yeah, won 3 matches. But these summer series, of course, they did not win any match. They lost 2 and they drew 1. Let me hear your thoughts on this, on Randy Waldrum's performances in the Super Falcons.
As for me, if I may ask, I think this outing is not a good one for Super Falcon. Though they might have the experience, like Wally did say, they might have the experience of what they have at hand. But if you look at it, you play 3 games, which is supposed to have 9 points, and then you got 1 point. It means you have one. It's a friendly game, but it can't. It can't.
Yeah,
it can't. So we cannot just say it's a friendly game. If it is friendly, why are you playing it?
I agree with
like Wale said, now they have the system. We have the system, but they laid a very good foundation on their own system. But on our own, we laid another foundation. That is why we are getting this type of
But mind you,
kind
in
of
the first game, majority of our players were not in camp, so we just have few players.
Should that be an excuse?
A coach will tell you. That was the same thing Ross said when he played against Cameroon.
That kind of excuse.
No, that was the same thing Ross said when he played against Cameroon.
That kind of excuse that your big players are not there. It's a national team. So you should have the best of the best. If A is not available, B must be there to stand in for A.
But majority of those girls, this is their first time call up for this.
Wale, let's call a spade a spade.
No, I'm not trying to defend you. I'm just telling you from the other perspective.
Don't fall into that kind of excuses by these coaches when
no, I'm just telling you
because
the situation surrounding.
Because you don't have a particular player we failed.
Of course, no doubt about it.
Football is a game of 11 players.
11 against 11.
10, 1-1 goalkeeper.
Yes.
And you can't say because one player is injured, your team could not perform. So why do you not have the player in your team?
Jide, let me even say something. The truth of the matter is that this player that are called to the camp, they should have it at the back of their mind that they are representing over 205 million Nigerians. And then if you can be singled out from that larger numbers of people, you should be able to put in everything within you, because it's a rare privilege for you to be there. But the truth of the matter is that it's not as if we don't have those talent, we don't have those players, but the selection process and some other politicking going on did not allow it to see the light of the day. Because come to think of it, we have over 200 million people. You are telling me that we cannot get 22 players that will represent us very well in the whole world. We should use the population that we have as our advantage.
At least you should have like 25 players.
Let's say we should have even more than 100 players.
Of course,
yes.
We should have more than 100
more than 22 players. At least stand by just in case, because we have the talents.
It's also sad that when it comes to selection of players in this part of the world, they tend to see that being political. Even I see no reason why our captain, because I will still call her our captain,
yes,
I see no reason why she has been led.
You know, she offended the gods of Nigerian football.
Out of the squad.
But look at Rafinha
doubt
for the US captain.
Yeah.
She spoke out against certain things
And
about
she
because
still
she wanted equal pay for the
female
yes.
team.
Let us be paid the same way you are paying the male team, equal pay. But then nobody's castigating her. There was massive support for her from the press, the US press, from in fact not only US, the world press,
yeah,
and other stakeholders. But our captain came out and spoke about the injustice and the poor welfare package that they give the ladies for Super Falcons. And the thing that they felt NFF felt they could do was to banish her. They are saying now the excuse are given her because she's not fit. No, we all know that's just
somebody that has been banging goals
in this club
in France.
Bro, it's not fit. Yes, it's not fit.
She cannot fit into the setup. You know. Those are flip excuses because we all know because she spoke out, and I think we talked about it last time that our teammates betrayed her.
Of course, they did.
If our teammates had not betrayed her, if they had stood by her, there is nothing NFF could have done. They cannot sack the old. That's why I still kind of like, even though it was not so good, the Olise, what they did in the whole set, the whole team stood by Olise.
Of course.
So there was no way you could sack
the whole team.
That's what I used to say.
United we stand.
Let me tell you the truth. Even we as a father in the house, if you have issue with your family, you know that peace is far away from that home within that period that you have in the issue. But when we are talking about this issue of player and all these things, we don't have the voice. I will tell you one thing. If you have Super Falcon team in camp today in Nigeria, hardly you have, as a journalist, you have access to even speak to even at least one player. They will say, okay, it is a captain that will speak to you. I went to athletic camp in Uye side. We want to speak to the player. They were giving instruction at the athletes. They were giving instruction that don't say anything to journalists.
Because they're not going to expose.
No, they will not go and expose whatever thing they are passing. They are suffering. But because of the level of poverty and level of exposure, you know, you say, if I was not given the opportunity next time, how will I get the money? But we should think outside that, because this is the country, it's not an individual.
Of course, every time they will say we are giving you this opportunity, I see. I don't deserve. I didn't work.
That word always enter my head.
Getting to this level.
I agree that it's pride to wear your national colors.
Of course.
But then they deserve to be taken care of. Okay.
But I just want to quickly ask this question. Will this affect the Nigerian performance? Because we know we'll be playing against Ghana at the qualifiers in a few months' time. Will this performance actually affect the girls against Ghana? We know Ghana are one impressive side that we must
when it comes to Africa.
That's what I just want to say now.
We don't fear.
We are the giants.
But we were defeated by Ivory Coast that we didn't actually make it to
yes.
It's just a
Ghana,
fluke.
we saw their performance at the World Cup. So they are very impressive. They're a new set of
we know that
team right about now.
We know that, but when it comes to African football, I just find a way of
maneuvering
our way out of any kind of crisis.
That's it.
Yeah, Ivory Coast stopped us from going to
the Olympics.
Unfortunately, it's just one of those unfortunate things that happened to Super Falcons in recent times. But on the world stage, we are not there yet. We still have a long way to go. That's just it.
We still have a long way to go, according to GD. So we go to our next story, where it's about Olympic national trials as Lagos bubbles with the national trial that is actually taking center stage right about now in the city of Lagos.
Excellence.
Of course, we have big stars have already arrived. Blessing Okagbare, Toby Amusun, Olagoke, and the rest who are set to actually burn the track and see hopefully if they can be able to meet more time for us to qualify for the Olympics. When it comes to the real team, we understand that some countries are in Lagos already. Countries like Senegal and the rest are in Lagos already for that particular qualifiers. Do you think we can actually make it to the World Cup, to the Olympics? Talking about our relay team.
No, some of them have, like Blessed Garish has already qualified for the Olympics.
We know some of
we're
those
talking
athletes
about
have qualified.
yeah.
Now we're talking about the relay team.
The relay team. That's
We went to USA. We couldn't make an headway. The sport ministry came. The sport minister, let me call his name now. The sport minister Sunday Dare said we are going to we're going to US to go and qualify for Olympics, but.
We got to US, we did
We
not
got to
qualify.
US.
Man proposed, God disposed.
But
But at this point in time, we are back in Lagos,
Very
trying
good.
to see if we are able to qualify with countries like.
Okay, let's just tell our viewers that this national trials is a flagship competition by the Athletic Federation of Nigeria that is used to select players, athletes, runners,
the contingent.
For the Nigeria contingent for the Olympics. So this is the last option for Nigeria right now to qualify for the Olympics, and any player or any athlete that does not meet the required number of points or time should forget the fact that he or she is not going to go to Tokyo. But at this stage,
just to let you, sorry to cut you short. Ivory Coast are in Lagos already, so we are still expecting Zambia, Botswana, Cameroon, Benin Republic, and Ghana expected to fly into the country.
At this stage, when countries like China are already practicing, they've already qualified for Olympics. Countries like US, they've already qualified. They already know those who are going. They're relating. In fact, they're training morning and night now to beat up that time. But we are still fighting for qualification.
Of course, you have to get to that time.
Yes, we get that time. But our excuse that can be that COVID-19 was affected. Didn't COVID-19 affect the whole world?
Of course.
Jide, as far as I'm concerned, concerning this trial that you are talking about, to me is a very good trial for Nigeria, because like Wale did say that minister promised of heaven and earth that we are going to get the ticket in US, but I want every human creature to know that it is man can propose that I want to do this thing, but it is only God that disposes. That is why we need to recognize him in whatever thing we are doing. So this trial that is going on in Lagos, it is very, very, very important for the country. And then for me, it will be out of point for this country not to secure that relay ticket, because we are on our soil, we are on our country, and then we should not shy away from the fact that we have other countries that are coming. They are prepared, they know what they are doing, like the country like Ghana, the country like even the Cameroon, the Senegal, and the Africa coast of
why did you qualify
Mr. Joel, it's not about you winning the race. It's about you
meeting the time.
Timing.
That is where I am going.
Who are way far than Nigeria.
That is where I am. That is where I am going. When we are talking about Super Falcon the other time, we talk about the system. Even why the COVID-19 are affecting the Europe, they still have way of doing their own thing without anything disturbing them, because they have the foundation on ground. And then they know how solid their foundation is. They don't want to derail. They don't want to go down. In last Olympic, US, we say, okay, you guys, you tried. You got 10 medal for us. This year, we want you to double it. So they start. No, I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it for example.
How many medals did Nigeria get last?
And we can just ask Dalong. Maybe we ask the Dalong and the contingent that
was given to us by
the football team. And then, unfortunately for us this year now, we are not going to have any football team going to the Olympics. So as I was saying, like what we need to do is that all those countries that you are seeing that are performing very well when Olympic start they started from the last day of the previous Olympics.
Yes, now
they started their preparation. Like Jide did raise a point, and then I was even ruminating about it. Olympic is by July. And then we are struggling to get the ticket.
There was a time I watched one documentary on a Chinese gymnast, and they asked her questions. She actually said that I think she's about 25 years now. Then she was like 8 years old. She did not say she had been training for Olympics since when she was 8 years. Like the moment they finished the last Olympics, they rested for a few months. They began
preparation
for the next Olympics. So at the finish, you just give like a month or 2 month break. For instance, just go and relax, enjoy your family first, then you come back to camp. Everyday camping. This is your job.
It's also sad that we know that the finalists for the relay team during the World Championship in Doha 2019, some have qualified for the relay team. Then during the World Poland relay that were supposed to go there, we didn't make it. All the finalists actually not qualified for the relay team. So it's just left about just 2 spots remaining. So if we can able to meet up those time, if our time is better off than the other countries, then we might
so let's just
give ourselves
let's just give ourselves that belief that we may not have a relay team in the Olympics.
No, you
cannot just take away the chance.
Let's not raise our hopes high because one, like you said, now we have two slots remaining. And what are the chances of we not get those 2 slots? So it's very
slim. It's very slim. Like
we had for that Poland, if we had gone to Poland,
of course,
it's not because of this crisis that I see.
Well, we use politics now. It's politics.
If I've gone to Poland, it would have been a better
chance for us to secure whatever ticket you want to get.
You qualify the US. So and this Lagos trial now is the last.
That's hope.
The last trial
of Nigeria as a common man.
It's just like saying,
so sad.
Just like saying we are playing football tournament and your last group stage match, if you win that match, you qualify the next stage. But if you lose that match, you're out. So that's what it's right now.
With good goal margin.
Okay. So let's leave athletics and go back to the Nigerian football scene, where insecurity again has crept into the football world. And just yesterday, and a very sad news got into us that the manager of Rivers United, that's talking about Stanley Eguma, has been kidnapped by, should I say, unknown men or unknown gunmen?
It still remains that he has been kidnapped.
He was kidnapped yesterday, and the report coming in says that they are demanding for 10 million naira ransom, and we don't know where he is right now. No information right now, even from the club. Did not release any official statement yet, but the news is out there that Stanley Eguma, as you can see on the screen, that's the man. He coaches Rivers United, and he is missing.
The question is, was he traveling alone?
Yes, according to reports,
How was he traveling alone?
He did not come back with the team after that game against Adama United last weekend. So the team went before him. So he was coming back alone with 2 other guys in his official Elox car. Elox. But then, along the way, he got missing.
That's just sad.
And there are no reports yet about the 2 other guys with him.
Yeah, whereabouts?
It's just so sad that at this part of the world we still get to hear cases of insecurity. The coach gets to be kidnapped and all that. At this point in time, we should get to a level of where if we want to prosecute any match, they should actually fly that team. Like for Rivers United playing Adama United, it's just too far. The journey is just too far. I expected the Rivers team to actually fly down to Adama United.
There should be train services, but then it's just unfortunate that we don't have that kind of infrastructure yet in Nigeria. And this is the second coach that will be kidnapped.
Yes.
In Nigeria. I think the first was the same Adamawa United.
No, it was Adamawa United driver that was kidnapped.
Yes.
Well,
it's very unfortunate because what gave many Nigeria joys are now turning to something else now, if I may say so, because sports happen to be something that unites Nigeria. Sports happen to be a game that brings joy to the faces of many people in the country. But unfortunately, the way and manner the things are going are not speaking well for the game in the country. If you look at it of recent, we recorded a lot of accidents by the bus of the Caterpillars from to Sunshine to Kwara United due to the bad road. But now is going beyond the issue of the road. Is going on the way of kidnappers.
Who plays for Caterpillars, he said he's not going to go with the team by road to any place they're going to. if there's no airport in that place, he's not going to go and play a match. But if they kidnap Musa, do you know how much those guys want to collect?
That is why I'm even surprised when they say they demand a ransom of 10 million. Right? So for me, even when one of my brother they kidnapped in Suleja, they demanded 10 million. And that is my brother is known to nobody. So talk less of this.
But if they kidnap Musa on the road, how much do you think they
no, if they kidnap Musa on the road, Kano State government should use his one month's money to rescue
that number. Let club provide security.
Honestly,
for their coach, for their crew, if they are traveling outside.
Not just one policeman.
And then
not just one policeman.
Aside that, the coaches should watch. You know, the system of the country is not speaking well right now. The coaches themselves or the technical crew should try as much as possible to at least use the little knowledge they have whenever they want to take an action. You know, you are coaching a River United. They know that this is where all rich money stays, and then you are going on the helos. If you want to go, you can just okay, let me just take one escort or two escort, because your life is important. It's important. Even if you have a little challenge, you know how painful it is. Talk less of you being in the den of a kidnapper for hours. It's not done. It's not done.
There should be an airport.
It means we have not started. Now in US that we are talking about, in UK now, they cannot travel that kind of distance without without them flying.
When you look at this, most European clubs, most of them have their own private aircraft. Or if they don't have the charter, they pay for the charter. But
look at Egypt. So when Pyramid was coming to Nigeria, they flew you with their private jet.
See, let me tell us the truth today. It's because of the failed system. Do you know that a governor, if permitted, can get a private jet for himself? And then when we are now talking about a club, if an individual can get a private jet, I don't see reason why clubs that is giving glory to your state will not have that private jet.
For the clubs. For the clubs. Give us private jet when we're not traveling.
You use it as a commercial something.
Yes. Of course.
And you get money back for it. And
use it to actually maintain it and all that.
Okay, so let's now also go back to athletics again, where Lagos Athletic Federation they're set to organize a track meet come June 14. This is a state-owned, this is a state athletics to be organized, and whereby athletes will come again and run, and more talents will be discovered that will fight the people like Blessing Akagbare, who is the queen of the tracks, who has refused to leave the tracks. But then, of course, we will see what happens on June 24. This one is not for Olympics at all. This one is just for the Nigerian. Let's get our youth busy. It's not just a means to get them off crime and off being known as unknown, gun-known men. Because of course, it's the youth that are carrying the guns. It's not the elderly ones. Can a 70-year-old man carry a gun and be killing? Of course, the youth are the ones that do this. Of course, a 70-year-old man can be the kingpin, can be the leader of the gang, but the foot soldiers are youth. So let's just see how this pans out in June 24, when athletes from around the country converge in Lagos for this track meet.
Okay, I think we need more of this kind of game in Nigeria.
Yes,
I think every state should replicate what Lagos State
now. They're about to have their own sports festival.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
We should always have this kind of.
It's very good.
It's actually keep the athletes very busy. Of course, off the street and all that. It will serve as a way of them getting some little
things. Even apart from that,
for them to keep shape.
These politicians, they know very well that sports is an avenue to stop insecurity in Nigeria. For example, now we are aware that whenever Super Eagles is playing game,
everybody concentrates.
Even the Boko Haram, wherever they go and carry TV, we have seen pictures of Boko Haram
watching
Super Eagles. They drop their gun somewhere and they all stand up before a screen and watch Super Eagles on their own screen inside the forest. So imagine you now carry all these youth out now and you engage them in several sports. Football is not the only sport. We have close to 70 sports they can partake in.
Of course.
And then they are interested. See, let me just give kudos. Let me just give kudos to my partner in progress here, Mr. Wale Ayeni. We all went to Edo. We knew what happened. he was the one that when they are doing wrestling like this, he saw traders, people that with their market, they just abandon their market to watch common wrestling. Traditional wrestling is not football, it's not athletic, it's not taekwondos and all.
You could have gone and carried out the goods and run.
Nobody will carry because everybody attention is on the court for the.
At that point, there is no crisis.
There is no crisis.
Everyone's peaceful. So let's urge now. We are appealing to the politicians. If they are watching us right now, wherever position you hold,
it's a wake up call.
Wake up and ensure that youths are engaged. Not everybody can go to school.
Yes.
That's just it.
There is no even work anywhere.
Transport is a good avenue to get jobs.
As we speak now, the Yabatek in Lagos now, the traders there are going to smile to bank.
Of course.
Because they will hit. Pure water seller will make more money. There is nobody that will not hotels, accommodation, the transportation. They will make money.
Hotel that probably is like 5K normally. The increase is 50,000 because of influx of people into the states.
Yeah.
So let us
go to our next story. We return back to athletics. We are still in athletics.
It's the burning issue right now.
Because it's the burning issue. Where engineer Ibrahim Gusso has dragged the sports ministry and the new fractional, elected president of the AFN. I was talking about Tinubu Okowa to court due to the fact that another election was held in Abuja, while another one was also held in Kebbi. So at this point in time, the leadership crisis of the AFN still continue at this point in time. Now, Olympics is just
we all hope that when WA and CA said June 14 is going to be the election, I will just say thank God, though, at least finally there will end. Unknown to us, two different parties were planning two parallel elections
at the same time,
on the same day, at the same time, but different venue.
Of course.
And the crisis continues.
I am not surprised. And then when we are talking about this issue, I don't like talking about it because of
it's getting tiring.
Because of the shame, because of the so many things that is not speaking well for the country. But we should, in whatever thing we do, we should not try and shy away from saying the truth. We saw the election in Kebbi State and the election in Abuja. And then now we have two factions we have two factions before. But now these are before it was a caretaker and then the elected. But this scenario now is two elected. Nobody elected Olamide.
AFN was not.
It's just an acting. I don't know whether you are getting my point. But this scenario that played out on in Abuja and Kebbi now is two different.
In Abuja, they were not elected.
That is why. That is why.
That is okay. So tell us what happened in Kebbi.
Okay,
what transpired in Kebbi?
I just want to take you back a little because the Kebbi venue has been announced since 2019 when they went for a congress in Oka. They were supposed to hold another congress in 2020 in Asaba, but due to the COVID-19, it was held online. It was a virtual congress. So, and the Kebbi Congress was already noted that they will host the elective congress in Kebbi. That was when Gusso called for the congress in Oka, which was actually decided by the congress then. Then after, we now have the leadership crisis rocking the federation. In the 2017 constitution that the world body and the African body asked the AFN to use, is only the president that can call for a congress according to the 2017 congress. So he called for the congress, and they have called for the congress far back in 2019 in Kebbi. So about 22 delegates were there. They held, according to them, they said 15 can actually form a quorum, and there were about 22 of them in Kebbi. And election was held. There was opponents. There were candidates in virtually all the position. The president, there were two candidates that was vying for the president. Gusso won with 20 votes. The second person got just 2 votes. I was talking about Grace Oloma. In the first vice president, there were 3 that contested: Sunday Adeleye, Solomon Barry, and another person. I can't remember that person's name right now. But Adeleye got 15 votes, and he was elected as the first vice president. Then Ineka, also three person actually contested the position. Ineka Nibeze got 13 votes. The second person close to her was 8 votes, and the last person got 1 vote. I was even shocked to actually to see that Ineka was contested. It was when they were calling the result, because I was there. It was when they were calling the result. I was shocked. I was like,
there was no indication whatsoever from the onset.
Even Sunday Adeleye didn't actually know.
All I thought was that she was going there as a media person. But not that. It was just like how Darius' son is for the
Tunebok fraction. Yes. So it was just so surprising. I saw that. Wow, Ineka. Wow.
Okay, but in Abuja for the election that I witnessed, and Mr. Joel also witnessed, it was a smooth one anyway, and
of course
it was a smooth one. There was there were 46 delegates, yes, 46 delegates, and the 3 candidates. Talking about the president and the 2 vice presidents, they were elected unopposed.
So there was no election; they were just appointed.
There was election, but people voted. There was.
So on the ballot paper, what was the ballot? Okay,
yes.
You need to still get like the 2/3 of the Congress for you to be out.
Yes, so they were elected.
So they were elected.
So for Tunebok Okowa, we had 42 votes, 2 no, and 2 invalid as well. So there was election, but unopposed. Whoever was contesting with him must have dropped out of the race when he saw Delta money, apparently.
But there were reports on codes.
Yes,
that money were flying up and down.
We are talking about Delta State, a state that invests so much. That's the only state I know that invests so much in sports. And you know, Tomoko Okowa is the younger brother to the Delta State governor, and who has the capacity.
The will with that.
The capacity.
The capacity. In caps.
You know, to bankroll his brother's election, and he did that. So during his acceptance speech as well too, Okowa mentioned that he knows there's a faction, and he's going to see how they're going to bring lasting peace to the federation and all that. And one question that gets comes to mind is that how will this peace come? But there's no way. I don't see Guso or Adeleye saying, "Okay, Okowa, take over." I don't see Okowa say he will step down for.
Yes, of course. So but just going to the
I think at this point in time,
except to have President 1, President 2.
let me just save your question that is kept coming to your mind. Say in Nigeria, there is nothing on earth that has never happened in the country.
So there's nothing new.
There is nothing new on this issue. Like you did said that you didn't see Mr. A to say Mr. B continue, or Mr. B say Mr. A continue. It happened in 2017, the last election in basketball. One election was held in Kano. One selection was done in Abuja. It's years now, because I was there. I was not in Kano, but I was in Abuja. We were even looking for where is the venue. We just got there. They say they say this man should just carry it on. But I just want to say on this matter is that this is how we will go for another 4 years.
Apparently,
be it as it may.
Apparently,
this is how we go. But one will get upper hand than the other. Ask me why? Because even the selection team during Dalong, let me just put it in that way, in persons of Kida, was the one representing the country, because he was one backing by the ministry, and then whoever the ministry is backing will be the one to represent, which is government, will be the one to represent the country. But it's not going to be the problem for only 2 factions, but it will be a great problem for the athletes, because athletes that belong to A we don't want to come to B. Maybe they are the ones that are even good to represent the country outside the country. But because they are not in the recognized in the recognized team, they will just say, okay, let them just go to whatever thing they want.
But the issue is,
Okowa said he's going to approach WA and say.
But the issue here is stated we should just tell ourselves the truth. Guso dragged ministry to court, and the court gave the judgment. That's talking about the High Court and the Appeal Court. They told the ministry in the judgment that they should allow Guso to execute his rights as the president. And his right as the president is him calling for a congress, and it's him calling all delegates to come for a congress. And it's that congress that they actually did an elective congress. So I don't see the reason why the sport ministry doesn't want to
I disagree with
the
you.
rule of law.
But
at this point in time, no doubt about it. Let's just see how things plays out. The world body and the WAA.
I disagree with you.
We'll see what pans out.
Yes. So
I disagree with you.
And then still talking about AFA, right?
Okay,
yes.
okay. I just want to ask you.
I disagree with you on one point.
Why? Okay, why is it that the ministry is refusing to agree with the rule of law?
It's not about rule of law. When you want to talk about the rule of law, you will do it from onset. You went to Hawker with your group to amend the 2017 constitution in 2019. What of the other group? That is what you believe. Other group might believe other things. So you are now talking about the rule of law when you fail to follow the rule of law.
Mr. Joe.
That as at 2019, we have that two group in place. You now said, okay, because I am not in support of Wale, I have to take Jide's group to somewhere and amend the constitution. And then I expect you to accept it. Okay. So if you want me to respect the rule of law, you follow the due process.
I agree.
But the due process is only the president that can call for the
in 2017 constitution.
Yes.
The ministry. What was the point of Dalong when he dissolved the board in the previous election?
But they were not elected.
I think
you understand my point now? That is what I am talking about. What was the point of Dalong to dissolve the federation at that time? Where did he derive the power?
It was Dalong that brought out the democratic.
Where did he derive that power?
Are you sure?
Yes, of course. It was him.
Where did he derive that power?
Are you sure it was full democratization of the election? No. It was on paper, but you cover the election. Me, I cover. You know what happened. Okay, now still talking about AFN now. I understand now that Puma has taken delivery of some Puma kits signed. Now I'm aware that this kit is signed. This deal was signed by Ibrahim Guso Camp. Which athletes will now wear this?
Local athletes.
So.
Grassroots, like Lagos.
Puma will expect that these athletes will be in Tokyo to wear these jerseys.
Of course, when they actually
hold on a minute. And these jerseys, this deal was contracted and sourced by the Ibrahim Guso-led faction.
Now the money, you are not talking about
before this election. And which athletes are now going to wear these jerseys in Tokyo? Is it the Okowa faction, or? Because now Puma signed this deal with AFL on behalf of Nigeria. Not on behalf of. AFL signed this deal with Puma on behalf of Nigeria, not with Guso or with.
But in the name of the contract,
yes,
it is Nigeria's name that is there. It's not Guso's name that is there. So now, at this point in time,
my question is that which camp now will now lay claim that these jerseys will go to our athletes?
As far as this Olympic is concerned, that Puma kit, it is friend and family that will wear the kit, not the Nigeria representative. As we speak now, ministry have already contacted the kit that Nigeria are going to use in Olympic. And then where we know that there is issue in AFN is that they've released this kit that we are talking about and money more than 6, 7, 8 months. And then it was kept in Guso's house.
How are you sure?
I know all these things that I'm talking about. Ask them now. I know all these things that I'm talking about. I will give you facts after this. This
you know that they bring kits like
what of the time you have the dollars?
But when they went to the US, they did not wear Puma kits.
They wore the.
I think
it was not even Nike.
Okay,
it was another, and the color was green. It was lemon green.
We have seen Super Eagle wear different color. That is Nigeria. Once there is green, whether lemon green. For me, since we have already signed a deal with Puma and we have signed the deal in the name of in Nigeria's name, there's no doubt about it. We are going to Olympics.
Puma didn't sign all the deal with all the world sports federations.
But
They
Puma
actually
expects
signed the deal with the
athletes
AFN. So they expect the Nigerian athletes who will be on the track to actually
and that's where the problem.
That's where the problem is.
Because Guso camp wants the athletes to wear.
And then no athlete from Guso will go to Olympic.
So that's a problem.
That's a problem.
You know that Guso owns those athletes. They are Nigerian athletes.
Yes.
They have their own athlete as we speak. They have their own athlete. They just finished the trial in the Zaria now. You know what I'm talking about.
Those guys didn't qualify for the Olympics. No, they didn't qualify for the
in Delta and is it Ondo State? Ondo State, where some athletes had to travel at night to meet both trials because they're confused.
They're confused.
But let's go on to our next. Keep
talking about athletics.
We'll take a long time. So, Katsina State United just received a 32-seater bus from the government, to aid their movement in when they're campaigning. So when they're traveling for their campaign.
Should this be a news?
News.
Should it be a news? So, at this point in time, should it be a news?
No. See, let's get one thing right.
Areas of players.
Let's get one thing right. There is nothing. This thing is, to me, is a news. Because this is the effort of the government that we're talking about. But what I'll be expecting after this one, just secure a private jet or a chartered flight for this team to fly around the country.
At this part of
you have to, a journey of 1,000 miles, start with a step.
Start with a step.
Okay. So, let's now go to the next story again, which has to do with
the National Youth Games. Are expected to hold later this year in October. We know we didn't get to host the last one. The last due to the COVID-19, but the director of grassroots sport has said yes.
Mr. Bodedruso said
this October we are going to host the National Youth Games. We know that Delta State are the defending champions, have won the competition about 5-6 times back to back, if I'm not mistaken. But they'll be set to actually retain their title when the games come up live in Kwara State.
Delta are the kings and queens of sports in Nigeria. So let's not leave Nigeria entirely. I don't mean entirely. And let's go to Spain, where one legend is about to leave one of the best clubs on earth after 16 years of service. I'm talking about no other person than Sergio Ramos. He has been able to seal a 2-year deal with the club, and he is going to leave. In fact, he has left. And that's sad news for someone like me as well, too, because he is a legend. And I'm just angry that the club president has been very, very useless, so to say, when it comes to treating legends. We saw I messed up Raul. Unceremoniously, he was axed out. Raul, the
goalkeeper also.
Ike Casillas,
same thing happened.
The same to Ronaldo. Now, a son that has given his life blood
16 good years.
And he's asking for 2 years contract, and I think I only give him 1 contract because you saw him too powerful in the club. Yes, every club needs a leader,
of course,
and Sergio Ramos is a leader.
No doubt about it.
He's a person that can off field, on pitch and off pitch.
He can command the respect.
He is the leader. But because he's asking for, he's not asking for money. He's asking for a reduced amount of salary. But then just give me 2 years. But say you can only give 1 year. The guy has to leave. And Ramos, we will miss you.
Of course, he does not have anything to prove. He has won
everything.
He won the World Cup, won the Champions League.
He has won every trophy that he has participated in. If he comes to Imba, he will win the title.
It's also sad that his followership now will leave Real Madrid.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, can you tell Jide to leave? Can you tell Jide to leave?
You have more followership. Definitely, the club that is going to that particular club will have more followership.
Just like how
that's the point.
Juventus and the Goma fans. Okay, so also let's talk about briefly about the NBA playoff in where Brooklyn Nets they're taking a 2-3 series lead against Milwaukee Bucks, and then we saw Kevin Durant, scoring 49 points, making him one of the highest person that was scoring one of the highest points in a particular game. And his colleagues are saying that he is the best player right now in the NBA.
Yeah, but why did you give LeBron James?
LeBron James said it by himself as well, so that he is one of the best players right now, because what he did in that game yesterday was not an ordinary person. I wish you could play the video, but unfortunately for us, we can't play the video. Yes, Kevin Durant now is just on top of his game at the moment.
So at this point, I'll go to our next story that is talking about the English Premiership, where the season that is talking about the champions will begin their Premier League defense against Tottenham Hotspur. That is talking about Manchester City. Also, there's going to be match watching clash against when the season can start later this year, if I'm not mistaken, around July. The Premier League will start in that particular one. It's going to be interesting. The three new teams that actually came out from relegation, they'll be playing a whole lot of big boys players. Yes, just at your screen right now about now, Brentford will play Arsenal.
Cathedral, the houses of worry.